You will recall that a few days ago, President John Mahama nominated Dr. Johnson Asiamah to the high office of Governor of the Bank of Ghana. By the constitutional requirement, and in fact, reference is made of Article 1834A of the Constitution. His nomination requires consultation with the Council of State before he can be appointed. This means that Dr. Johnson Asiamah cannot legally operate as a governor until such consultation with the Council of State has taken place. Contrary to this constitutional imperative, however, we have seen attempts by Dr. Asiamah at the Bank of Ghana to assume duties as if he is legally qualified to do so. Those of us from the minority side, through our leader, have had cause to officially write to the President, pointing out the illegality on the actions by Dr. Asiamah and hoping the right will be done. In a said letter, we drew the President's attention to news reports from various media houses on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, to the effect that Dr. Johnson Asiamah has gone to the Bank of Ghana, to all intents and purposes is behaving as a governor and having meetings with various people and departments. We ask how it is possible for someone who has not yet been appointed but only nominated, awaiting consultation with the Council of State, to start work. And indeed, when the Council of State has not yet been constituted. Of the Constitution of the Republic, and it must not be tolerated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another disturbing issue about Johnson Asiamah's appointment is the fact that he was standing trial for various alleged offenses in his previous role as the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. Dr. Johnson Asiamah, former second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, until his nomination was standing trial in the courts of Ghana for various criminal offenses, including fraudulent breach of trust, money laundering, conspiracy to commit crime, and violations of the Bank of Ghana Act. Regrettably, these charges were withdrawn by President Mahama a few days to the nomination of Dr. Asiamah to the high office of the Governor of the Central Bank. Interesting times indeed. If Dr. Asiamah is approved, he would be heading operations and activities of the Central Bank, which is clothed with the responsibility to check and avert the very crimes he is standing trial for in the courts. Permit me to share with you a statement the Central Bank shared on Dr. Asiamah on August 23rd, 2019, in response to an interview he had with Joy, and I quote, this is what the Central Bank said about the person who has been appointed to head the Central Bank. It is also instructive to note that Dr. Asiamah was Deputy Governor at the time when the decision was taken to revoke the licenses of UT Bank and Capital Bank, and had every opportunity to propose any other strategy for addressing the insolvency of the said banks if he felt there was a better and more effective strategy. His approach before the new management team took over was simply to do nothing in the interest of depositors and the financial institution, and to rather dole out large amounts of public funds to failed institutions whose shareholders dissipated these funds on private ventures at the expense of depositors, employees, taxpayers and other claimants. They claim that the approach to resolving the two banks resulted in the distress of the savings and loans and microfinance sectors is pathetic, to say the least, with full knowledge that these two banks were connected to other sectors of the financial system. Dr. Asiamah and his colleagues were under a duty to take measures they were empowered to take under the law to avert the risk that these two institutions created for the rest of the system. Dr.